In both instances, it would seem, from my cursory glance, not a legal expert, this woman committed a misdemeanor, making Barton a victim, to which many media outlets are kind of painting him as the villain. Today we have a story about a media double standard. A representative from Texas, Joe Barton, has been the victim of revenge porn, and I think that's the only rational way to explain the story. If you haven't been following, the other day on social media, photos of Barton in a lewd position surfaced, and a video has also been published briefly by InfoWars. They did take the video down, but we know the video exists. This is a video of Barton engaging in a sexual behavior. We'll just put it that way. Now, the story here is how the media has been framing the narrative. So let's take a look at the Washington Post. Congressman on tape tells woman he would report her to Capitol Police because she could expose his secret sex life. Now, right off the bat, that title makes it seem like Barton's kind of the bad guy. Like he's threatening a woman who knows secrets about him that Barton has done something wrong. When in reality, this is a story about Barton telling a woman not to share revenge porn, which is the case. The woman described encounters and contacts spanning a 5-year period that began online after she posted a message on Barton's Facebook page in 2011, leading to the sexually explicit exchanges and ultimately a pair of physical sexual encounters in Washington and Texas. Over time, she said, she became aware of and corresponded with multiple other women who engaged in relationships with Barton, who represents a suburban Dallas district and is one of the most senior Republicans in the House. In 2015, Barton confronted the woman over her communications with other women, including her decision to share explicit materials he had sent. In that context, he mentioned the Capitol Police, a comment the woman interpreted as an attempt to intimidate her. "I want your word that this ends," he said, according to the recording, adding, "I will be completely straight with you. I am ready if I have to. I don't want to, but I should take all this crap to the Capitol Hill Police and have them launch an investigation. And if I do that, that hurts me potentially big time." "Why would you even say that to me?" the woman responded. "The Capitol Hill Police? And what would you tell them, sir?" "I would tell them that I had a 3-year undercover relationship with you over the internet that was heavily sexual, and that I had met you twice while married and had sex with you on 2 different occasions, and that I exchanged inappropriate photographs and video with you that I wouldn't like to be seen made public. That you still apparently had all of those and were in a position to use them in a way that would negatively affect my career. That's the truth." Now, according to multiple sources, Capitol Hill Police are launching an investigation into this. What's particularly disturbing to me here is that it's not just the Washington Post. Numerous outlets have picked up this story. The Dallas News framing of it, though not so bad, is Joe Barton warned women not to release explicit photos that are now under police investigation. From Uproxx, Rep Joe Barton threatened to report a woman to the police if she shared his lurid sex and nude photos. And then we have a repost on the Chicago Tribune. Congressman told woman he would report her to Capitol Police if she exposed his secret sex life. Now, to an extent, all of these stories are kind of framing Barton as the bad guy. But let's take a step back and look at what happened. Barton had a consensual relationship with mature adult women that at some point, this woman found out that he was seeing other women as well and got mad. At some point, she shared these photos with other women. Barton then said, "If you do this, I'm going to call the police." Mike DeBonis, one of the authors of the Washington Post article, who framed it as though his secret sex life was being exposed and he was threatening this woman or intimidating her. He even goes to excuse the behavior because it seems like he doesn't understand the legal code here. Barton did not challenge the woman's account, says he is the victim of a crime and that Capitol Police are investigating. NB, this woman did not upload the widely tweeted image. He then says, "If you were inappropriately propositioned by Barton, we'd like to hear your story," and post his email. In a reply to Jennifer Bendery, the senior politics reporter for HuffPost, he said, "She didn't threaten to release the pics. She was sharing them with other women he was involved with, and it didn't end." I'm going to say right now, this man for the Washington Post just tweeted definitively, I don't know how he knows, that this woman violated the law, that she committed she posted revenge porn. What's important to know is that in Texas and Washington, D.C., in most states, you don't have to publish revenge porn to the entire world. The size of the audience technically does not matter. Sharing sex videos, photos, whatever, with even one person is a violation of revenge porn laws in many instances. And let me first say, I'm not a lawyer. I could be totally wrong about this. All I'm doing is pulling up the penal code, and I'm going to read to you what it says. A person commits an offense if, without the effective consent of the depicted person, the person intentionally discloses visual material depicting another person with the person's intimate parts exposed or engaged in sexual conduct. The visual material was obtained by the person or created under circumstances in which the depicted person had a reasonable expectation that the visual material would remain private. The disclosure of the visual material causes harm to the depicted person, and the disclosure of the visual material reveals the identity of the depicted person in any manner, including through an accompanying or subsequent information or material related to the visual material or information or material provided by a third party in response to the disclosure of visual material. This is according to Texas Penal Code, and these actions are a Class A misdemeanor, which means you can't spend more than 1 year in county jail. There's no prison time, and a fine of up to $4,000. But let's look at Washington, D.C., which is particularly interesting. According to District of Columbia, disclose means to transfer or exhibit to 5 or fewer persons. Harm means any injury, whether physical or non-physical, including psychological, financial, or reputational injury. Publish means to transfer or exhibit to 6 or more individuals or to make available for viewing by uploading to the internet. Now let's scroll down to unlawful disclosure. It shall be unlawful in the District of Columbia for a person to knowingly disclose one or more sexual images of another identified or identifiable person when the person depicted did not consent to the disclosure of the sexual image, there was an agreement or understanding between the person depicted and the person disclosing that the sexual image would not be disclosed, and the person disclosed the sexual image with the intent to harm the person depicted or to receive financial gain. A person who violates this subsection shall be guilty of a misdemeanor, and upon conviction shall be fined not more than the amount set forth in section 101, etc., etc. You can read this if you want, but we'll move on. Now, first degree unlawful publication. It shall be unlawful in the District of Columbia for a person to knowingly publish, remember that means 6 or more people, one or more sexual images of another identified or identifiable person when, and it follows the same rules. Essentially, if you have videos or images of someone that is expected to be private and you share it with even one person, 5 or fewer people is a misdemeanor. This is the District of Columbia. And because Barton says the Capitol Police are investigating, it is safe to assume they have jurisdiction over this. However, the incident may fall into Texas jurisdiction, which has essentially the same rules, but can only be a misdemeanor. So in both instances, it would seem from my cursory glance, not a legal expert, this woman committed a misdemeanor, making Barton a victim, to which many media outlets are kind of painting him as the villain, which is just wrong. Let me give you, again, a non-legal analysis, in my opinion, of what we're looking at. This woman had these photos and videos. According to the journalist for the Washington Post on Twitter, she shared this material with other women. That's illegal. She disclosed revenge porn to other people. She committed a misdemeanor here. It also says that she shared a video. So in more than one occasion, it looks like we're having journalists confirm this woman victimized Joe Barton, who had a consensual relationship with her. I'm not going to defend the affair or even talk about the judgment of the individual here. What's particularly disturbing to me is that this is a man who had a normal consensual relationship with a woman. The woman was upset at him because she found out that he was with other women. She claims that he was manipulative and deceitful, which are not crimes. Makes him kind of not a cool dude, but that's not illegal, in which case she shared photo and video with other women of Barton, eventually leading to the publication of this photo and video, and that is just not cool. I've seen so many journalists defending this woman. The Washington Post, their attitude, their framing of the narrative, it really freaks me out. And so I just want to say, I don't want to call anyone out, there's some really great journalists out there that are calling out this bad behavior by the Washington Post. I am not. This just makes me absolutely disgusted with the Washington Post. The story should be woman posts revenge porn against congressperson. And the fact that many people are insulting Barton for this, he did nothing wrong. At the bottom of the Washington Post story, in 2014, she visited him in Texas, where the two slept together for the second and final time, she said. He again paid for her travel. I was in it for the political connections, the woman said of their relationship. I was kind of unwittingly drawn into it with him because of just the amazement of having a connection to a congressman. I was in it for the political connection, she says. Classic revenge porn. You cannot take photos and videos of a lover that has scorned you in some way and share them with even one person. You know, I don't like making moral indignation videos. I don't like being offended or triggered or anything like that. And I'm more interested in the facts and the issues. But I have no trouble saying here that I am disgusted by this behavior from a lot of these journalists. I think in the instance of this story, it is important to present the accurate framing of what this is, that from a layman glance, from my cursory glance at the laws, it looks like this is classic revenge porn, and that it should be brought up that way because that's what it is. I feel like the media is being dishonest once again because a juicy story about sexual impropriety from a congressman is going to sell, but this is just not fair. This is not fair to the victim of revenge porn, and I'm personally not cool with that, but it is what it is. I'll do my best, I'll make a video, we'll bring it up, but you guys can comment below and we'll keep the conversation going. Let me know what you think about it. Yes, I do read the comments, I don't always reply. Happy Thanksgiving! Hell of a Thanksgiving, huh? If you want to support my work, you can go to timcast.com/donate. Give whatever you'd like or give nothing at all. My videos are always free and available every day at 4 p.m. If you want to follow me for live streams and breaking news, I'm on Twitter at timcast. What the hell are you doing watching this video at 4 p.m.? Shouldn't you be having dinner? This is my Thanksgiving. I'm not going to be doing anything special, so to all of the rest of the people who aren't going to be with family and friends and are just chilling, having a day off, I'm right here with you. And to the rest of you who somehow managed to squeeze in time to watch this video when you're there with your family, thank you to everybody, all of you. I wish you all a happy holiday. No days off for me. I'm going to keep making videos, and stay tuned because I'm likely traveling to cover another story about free speech and things like that. Should be interesting. Stay tuned. New videos every day. Happy Thanksgiving again. I'll see you all tomorrow.